everyone, my name is Mitch Dyer. That guy there is Marty Sliva.
Your clap was phenomenal.
Thank you. I try really hard.
Yeah, it was cacophonous.
Cacophonous is a good word. Esme.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. Welcome back.
Ahoy.
My first IGN podcast, though.
It's true. You got to get way closer to your mic. Nobody can hear a word you're saying. Get in there. Welcome. We're going to do a big ol' spoiler-filled conversation right here, right now about Tales from the Borderlands, Episode 5, The Vault of the Traveler.
Yeah.
Three of us have been playing these games pretty consistently as they release. Marty's on the reviews. You can see every one of his reviews on IGN.
Yeah, you can hear my voice.
That's true.
I
His
say
voice
the
is
words
in those
that
reviews.
I read out loud.
So this is the big finale.
Yeah.
After the disappointing second to last episode.
Yeah, that was a real hot trash episode. Which has sort of been the MO with Telltale games for some reason. Episode 4s have just been disappointing. I don't know. They're the penultimate curse. And so, going into 5, it was one of those, man, in 2 hours, they're going to have a whole lot of questions to answer because we still hadn't reached the framing device. We still weren't sure what's going to happen with Jack, with Gortys, with
Athena.
We haven't found a vault. And so, I guess starting, again, if you haven't played it, and we're going to spoil
We're going to
all
spoil
sorts of things.
literally everything. So
So
be aware.
The game picks up immediately after 4 leaves off with sort of Reese trapped in the chair and Helios being taken over by Jack, and then Sasha and Fiona being captured. And so that opening, what did you guys think of that opening scene or the opening, I guess, act aboard Helios where, I don't know, personally I thought it began on a bit of a slow note.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually don't remember it in great detail because it's everything after the awesome opening sequence that
Like the credits?
Yeah, like, the big, 2K Games presents a Telltale game, whatever.
Yeah, where it has the James Blake song.
Yeah, that whole thing, that was super impressive as they have been in every episode. And then it's the rapid fire, amazing narrative beats that happen after that really stand out to me. But that first act I thought was a little limp, and I was actually really worried about where it was going because it was taking too much time. But it's after Helios crashes that I was way on board.
Yeah, that opening act didn't really have a ton of the choices. I don't even know if there's anything you could do with that opening act that would really impact the story going forward. So you sort of, as Reese, you escape Jack and you find Loaderbot, and you guys. I was really moved by that moment. Weirdly, where Loaderbot closes you into the escape pod and
gets his arm shot off.
Yeah, and then that's when the music kicks in, the retrograde,
the beautiful R&B type.
So good, so good.
Well, for me, actually, at the beginning, since I was the only one,
way in there. Get on that microphone.
Since I was the only one in episode 4 that actually was all on board with Jack taking, letting Jack out and being I'm the president, and everything. I was expecting a bit more of I don't know, a difference in what that meant for my episode, and I just realized as it was going, it didn't really mean anything, because then you realize actually I just want to take over your body with this weird robot that's going to take your skin.
Oh yeah,
so I still betray you in some way.
Replace your bones with a metal frame.
And the only real reward you got from being president was this pizza, because I chose, do you want to fire everybody, or do you want to get a pizza? I'm like, okay, I guess I got a pizza.
Give me that pizza.
And then it's
That's
great.
Awesome. I didn't have that choice.
You didn't?
What?
Did you have a choice at all?
No.
Oh.
What's the
there
point
was
of being
3
alive?
choices. It was being firing all the accountants, eating a pizza, or I think destroying a part of the ship or something.
No, I didn't have that decision.
It was
at all.
firing on Pandora or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That decision didn't, because I was very against Jack, and so I didn't make any decisions.
That makes sense, because my save file, I ended up with an auto-generated save file. Oh no, I played on. I played on your account.
You were okay with it, but then you rejected it towards the end.
That's what I did in my canonical playthrough, but then I played on your account.
Oh, right.
Maybe the choices are randomized?
Maybe.
Weird. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't have that decision. I thought despite the fact that Loaderbot obviously didn't die in that scene, I still thought that scene was really effective, and I liked the hopelessness as Helios is, crashing. All these escape pods are going to Pandora. Fiona and Reese are separated and landing on the planet. It was really I was oh man, within 20
things
minutes.
Things are bad.
Yeah, things are really bad. And then you land on Pandora, and you have that scene where you're Reese sort of walking through the rubble and wreckage of Helios, which I thought was really effective.
Yeah.
I love the fallen hero arc that he kind of explores with Jack.
Yeah.
As once he betrays him, and then once he's there and he actually sees the statue and the head comes off and everything, it's not only is this a metaphor, it's actually falling on
the best moment. Did you guys look at the Jack poster?
Yeah.
No.
Where he's Reese walks up and he puts his hands on his hips,
And he realizes he's making the exact same pose as Jack.
And he gets uncomfortable and he like moves his hands off his hips. He's like, oh, like weird.
I mean, and then that scene, sort of going over and wait, excuse me.
You got to Google it?
No, I'm not Googling it.
Do we need to buy you some time while you Google it?
No, sorry. I was. We have a guest coming in later, and he texted me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
A real hot guest. No, I meant hot guest as in like.
Hot guest.
That was real weird. Sorry, Nathan.
Don't be weird about it.
I apologize. No, that scene where you come across the final TV screen that Jack is on, and the image is stuttering, and he's just like lifeless is possibly my favorite scene in a Telltale game ever. Just the sound of defeat in Jack's voice, and then there's a turn of phrase where Reese says, "Oh, is this the point where you tell me that you and I aren't so different?" And Jack just sort of like laughs. He's like,
"No, buddy, you're way worse than me."
Yeah, you killed everyone to destroy this one person.
Yeah, he's like, I could have never done that. And as Reese, like, I was just like, I guess I have to live with that. Which I thought was really effective. And then obviously you have that moment where Jack has one more attempt. He gets in your body, and then that really great sort of like Cronenberg-esque like body horror where you take the jagged glass and you're getting your chip out and you're pulling your eyeball out. And
called it from episode 1.
Yeah, that's right. Because right at the beginning, Mitch said he's like his eye's a different color. I was like, oh, it is.
Rip that eye out. He's gonna get a new eye.
Yeah.
That I didn't notice at all.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering, did they ever show his new arm?
Yeah, they did. It was silver.
Yeah.
Why did we never talk about
I really
that?
wish there was more of an, like, it didn't really feel like that meant anything, though, once you get to that part where he's, like, you know, like, wrapped up again and you're, like, in present time.
Sure.
It's like, okay, you ripped all those out, but you just went and got new ones, so it didn't really feel, like, as impactful for me afterwards.
Yeah, and it was a weird... Yeah, and then, you know, obviously the big thing canonically in the Borderlands story is that this is the official, I guess, the second death of Handsome Jack. Which I thought was really effective when, you know, you're pulling your eye out and Jack's, like, on his knees and he's like...
I'm begging you.
Don't know what it's like.
He's like, you don't know what it's like. There's nothing. Like, when you die, there's nothing. And I was like, oh God,
man.
that's
What were your last
effective.
words to him?
I told him I'm sorry.
Oh.
What were the options?
It was, I'm sorry, goodbye, and I win. I said I win.
Goodbye, Jack.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
weird altruistic in video games, even against people who are just real bad boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a real bad boy. Dirty dog. I'm sorry.
We need more coffee this morning.
Yeah, totally. And then we have the Fiona scene at the same time is where that was very confusing. I was just
where
like,
she landed right next to the fight.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what's happening? I'm like, why is Gortys so big? Why is Gortys so big? And who's this real big creature? And why is there a dust storm?
I really felt like they didn't explain like the whole like she opens it, she becomes this huge thing, yet she can't really defeat. I mean, I know it plays into the later episode.
Yeah, I mean you get it by the end, but I during that scene I was on board with everything except that I didn't know there was a monster there at all.
Oh, you couldn't see it?
No, I mean it was really. I'm not 100% sure what the artistic decision to have it in the middle of a dust storm was. Because it doesn't really make sense because it's not like the vault. It was
to hide Gortys being big at first. Like, you couldn't tell. I thought it was a monster until I was approaching, and then she's like, don't hurt him. I was like,
it's final form Gortys. She's huge.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
But what's going on? Why can't I hear her? Why am I shooting her with a rocket?
And it was also just like, wait, what? There's a... like, I didn't realize when you open a vault, a giant monster comes out. Like I wasn't... As someone who...
That's a Borderlands thing.
Yeah, so I didn't... I mean, I played Borderlands too,
but I didn't realize the vault was open.
Yeah, it was very... Again, it was very confusing because you didn't see it happen.
Right.
Yeah, and then you have the moment where Valerie gets killed, and what's his name? August sees it.
Which actually, I kind of wish.
North was awesome in this episode. By the way, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Valerie would not. I don't understand why she suddenly is like, we have to kill, kill Gortys in order to stop the monster. When instead of just trying to get to the vault in the back of them, like while they're fighting off, like why did she just go for the treasure?
Like, I'm just gonna get the treasure.
Yeah, I don't care what happens. Yeah, I don't care what happens to the world.
Let the kaiju just destroy each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a strange scene, and then we jump forward we get to the framing device. So, which I thought was sort of weird is that we don't know what happened or how long in between that was. Was that months? Was that years? What really happened? But then, we sort of get all the players are revealed. So we realize that the stranger, the masked stranger who kidnaps you the whole time has been Loaderbot.
Did you guys see it coming? Did you see that coming at all?
I did not.
No,
see that coming.
I thought it would be Vaughn,
or
I actually thought it might be Gortys.
Yeah.
Because especially when the stranger starts saying, like, I was there when Gortys was killed.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Gortys might have been a little bit bitter about it.
Cortana stuff going on.
Even, like, less serious than that, but just more like because Gortys has been this happy, cheerful thing. Like, maybe this is the thing that, like, made Gortys actually really sad.
Arc.
Yeah.
I was annoyed that it took as long though for him to finally reveal Loaderbot. Like it took a little bit.
I told Marty last episode. I think we might have talked about this on our conversation, but episode 4 I feel like should have been present day stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or cut episode 4 completely.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. Yeah, and so we have that, and then we have the bandit king turns out to be Vaughn.
Yep.
Who's now like I guess the
leader.
He's got like he's the mayor of Helios Crash Town.
Of like the Helios psychos who are crazy berserk psychos but they're just sort of like
they're just there defending their place.
People.
They have no other purpose but to be right there. Like,
yeah,
they don't
exactly.
know what to do.
And then so you get the gang back together and realize that I thought it was really sweet because Loaderbot went from being comedic relief the entire time to like an actual sort of emotional three-dimensional character.
Truly AI.
And he was like, yeah, exactly. And he was like, he loved Gortys, like not in a sexual way because Robos can't be banging, but
can't they?
I don't know, can they? It was
no,
that
I took it like an older brother to little sister type of relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah. The Robos bang of electric sheep. And so, I thought that was really.
Wally, they do.
I thought it was really sweet that they all sort of like, yes, we're gonna fix Gortys, and then we're gonna get a plan to kill the monster that comes out of the vault. And then I really like the fact that they're like, hey, you gotta form a posse, and then it goes.
It's like a mecha heist movie.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, this is the point where everything you've done in the series finally sort of matters because it's like, hey, how did you treat these characters, and did you save your money? Because
can you get the Vault Hunters with the money?
If you don't spend anything,
okay.
Evidently, you can immediately buy the Vault Hunter.
Was one of them Lilith? Because I saw her silhouette.
So it's the silhouettes of Lilith, Brick, and Mordecai, but I don't know which you get.
I think no. You don't get any of them. It's
it ends up being Claptrap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What? That's cute.
Oh, did you not?
Wait.
I did not know that.
Oh, didn't I tell you to pick?
So there's
I didn't have money.
Oh, no.
I told you to
so
pick.
there's a life hack. If you pick Felix.
I told you to pick Felix.
When you get Felix, you go to meet him.
I killed Felix.
That's
why
That
I didn't
explains
have
it.
him anymore.
Yeah, so I played on Marty's, so I had Felix alive in my playthrough, and I ended up going to meet him. Felix flakes on you, and he's like, I left you a bunch of money, and you get a bunch of money in the desert. And then when you go back, it's like, hey, Felix bailed on us. We need somebody else. They're like, oh, conveniently, Claptrap.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so bummed now.
Yeah, and that was really great. And so, well, I don't know. Who were your three? Who did you end up?
Claptrap. Mm-hmm. Cassius. I tried to pick three weird. Oh, it's Cassius and August.
Oh, okay, interesting. What was Cassius's sort of like? What was his deal in the fight?
Right. So Cassius, like, he's the doctor, right?
Yeah.
He's all about medicine. But in the fight, he ends up doing like Dragon Ball Z, Kamehameha, Hadouken style fireball things.
That's awesome.
And it's really good. Like he gets really really into it, and it's really adorable.
Yeah, I went. I had Athena, Zero, and Claptrap.
Oh, you went all Vault Hunters.
I went all Vault Hunters.
Interesting.
Which I was I wanted to do. I was torn because I sort of wanted to do Athena and Spriggs because I was like, I want to see what that because when you sort of
what that dynamic looks like.
Yeah, and they're like, are they going to be super cute together?
I love that we found out that by lying to Spriggs about Athena saying I love you, it actually said she appreciated that you saved her relationship.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's
we
funny.
were so afraid that was going to backfire.
Yeah. I know, we were like, oh, geez, this is going to be awkward. I like the fact that Spriggs is only, I think, available if you fire off the
for Scooter, if you honor
Scooter thing.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Zero if you Zero and Athena.
If you admitted you were a Vault Hunter.
Yes, exactly. Sort of cool stuff like that. Like August, if you've sort of been warm to him throughout the series.
For mine, it said August was just impressed by my action hero like abilities.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I went with August, Athena, and Zero because Felix, I got him killed, and then what's the guy's other name?
Cassius.
Yeah, when Athena was wanting to hurt him, I said go for it, and so he's like, oh, I went into hiding. I want to help. Yeah.
So I really like that stuff from how you interact with Zero in episode 1 to how you spend your money to how you deal with these characters.
Like fleeting moments with the Vault Hunters that are ultimately just there for fan service actually mean something in the grand scheme because then you're rewarded with like more fan service.
Yeah, totally. I really like that. And then it sort of leads into that final act, which is the big Power Rangers kind of fight.
Oh my god, it's so
Which
amazing.
was it was super fun. The spectacle was there, big production. Like I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I like that Athena's QTEs were like a fighting game.
Yeah,
they all
I
were.
was gonna say.
Were they?
Yeah,
I think they were all. This was the first time I actually felt like the action in a Telltale game really like felt
where
like
it's
an
like down
action.
up, right up, QE
Yeah.
was how I had to do stuff on a keyboard. I was like, whoa, okay,
And if you
this is
messed
weird.
up, you actually weren't hitting him.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I like that it kept cutting to inside, and it was the 5 of them like sitting there
on their like
bunch.
sweet control panels.
When Athena went up and he's like trying to explain, so this was gonna happen. She's like, I already know she's going to copy my attacks. He's like, how do you know this? It's like, because I pay attention. Okay.
Yeah, it was really great.
It was so
pretty good.
Yeah, it was really great because like the only thing she had from Reese was like he's like try fist pumping, and like Gortys goes she's like, I don't think this is gonna work.
He's like, oh man, I thought your fist would pop off or something cool. All right.
I like that Claptraps was just like he went insane and fired like a bunch of rockets and like none of them hit. He just like went crazy, fired like a barrage of artillery. I don't know, that scene was like really great, and I like that like Gortys was scared and that you were sort of like,
Yeah.
the whole,
you're
like,
encouraging
hey,
her.
she's like, I'm gonna die, like we did
Like,
this last
nah, man,
time.
we're here for you. We'll
We'll
protect
put
you.
this together, and I was like, oh,
I felt like it had a Mass Effect type of like towards the end of Mass Effect 2. I always felt like we're rallying up and we're doing this
We
together.
got
and
the crew.
Yeah, and it felt just like that for the Power Rangers scene and everything.
and it felt great. And then there was that sort of really powerful moment where you think Sasha's dead, which like I sort of teared up at.
Did you really?
Like,
I
oh,
did, dude. I
man.
was like,
it was really effective.
yeah.
I didn't understand why she felt she had to sacrifice. I mean, I understood the logic behind it, but like why she took it upon herself to be the one to save us all.
Well, because she was literally the only one who could. They couldn't wait.
I mean, it would be her, Fiona.
I mean, maybe I would have wanted it to be Fiona. Like,
Yeah.
if you were the one taking the action themselves. But no, I mean, I still appreciated the scene
Yeah.
for what it was. Although, watch Ex Machina. Like, there was no death in this episode that actually, like, stuck except Scooters from episode 4.
Yeah. It was one of those, and it was that, wait, if you... I mean, is there any way you wouldn't have the watch from Felix?
No, you get it, and it's just a matter of whether or not you tell her about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which I didn't from the beginning, so I felt, like, emotional. Because she's at one point, did you look? And I was like, no, I was respectful. She's like, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I sort of assumed that she always gets revived.
Yeah, I mean the setup is really great because it's like time heals all wounds, and she has that like, ugh, you bastard, right? Like that moment is really good.
Yeah.
And then it is a little ex machina where it's just like, and she's okay because it lifts in the air and it's a medicine thing. It's like, okay, I'll give you this
But
because
why couldn't we do that for everyone else?
Yeah.
But I like that it still like dropped her and she he's like, if this was supposed to heal me, why would it make me?
Why would it drop me on the ground? And then I have that. I really liked that final moment the final scene with Reese and Fiona.
Like it was just a great moment seeing them come together and realize like, okay, we are friends, and having a conversation about like, are you into Sasha? Yeah,
I love that.
She
was like, what are you? She's like, I don't want to have to say this. What are your intentions with my sister? I thought that was really cute. And like, I don't know, my Reese was like, yeah, I like her.
I'm pretty into her. Yeah.
Yeah.
When that option came up, I just picked the 3 dots to see if like there could be any conversation. She's just like staring at him. He's just like, I know what you want to ask. So like either way, they had to have the conversation.
That's pretty good.
That's really cute.
But as they're climbing and having that talk, I like that like they are friends despite it all, despite how conflicted they seemed with each other for 4 episodes in that timeline. They were close and they fought for each other and they were great friends. And then that like the weird mystery at the end where they just vanish is really good. And that lingering shot like through the vault symbol looking up the chest and they're just gone. It's like I love that Telltale's just like, all right, and now this is your problem, Gearbox.
Yeah, exactly. Like leading off from that, like, do we think that a lot of these things are going to play into Borderlands 3, which we know is in development
Well, for
now?
Scooter, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're going to put, like, they're definitely going to be, like, NPCs that you interact
Yeah.
with.
I mean, I almost think Fiona's going to be a playable character.
So I thought that for sure. I thought they would set her up to be a playable character. Now I'm starting to wonder, thought just crossed my mind, what if Gearbox is like, we do not want to use Reese and Fiona, and this is how they get rid of them?
Yeah, I don't know. Or if... Yeah, like I imagine a lot of these characters will appear, or like you said, NPCs, or you'll get quests from them, or you'll meet them along the way.
It'd be amazing to play as her as a Vault Hunter like years later.
Yeah, right. Like a wizened version of her. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Or Gortys, or Loader.
Oh my God, Gortys. Or their baby, because the Robos did all bang.
No, their brother and sister.
Oh,
what if Loaderbot's a Vault Hunter? He's like human-sized-ish now, right? Like he could be. That could be so great.
That'd be real good.
This actually made me really excited for Borderlands 3. Like, this is a series that I played Borderlands 1 and 2, and I finished both, and I liked certain things about them, but story was never one. There were some moments in 2 that I liked, but this was a world I never cared about until Telltale.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I was actually lukewarm about, like, even though Tales of the Borderlands was good for the first few episodes, I wasn't ever, like, really invested in it, and this episode made me, like, really care about what these people were and what my journey was with them and stuff. And I love that they didn't make them romantic interests at the end.
Yes,
I
agreed.
really
Yeah,
appreciated
like
that.
they were friends.
Yeah, and that's, really good friends.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great episode. I gave it a 9. I thought it was right up there with 1 and 3 as like really top tier Telltale episodes. And I guess that sort of got me thinking of like, where does this rank in terms of modern Telltale series? Starting with, I guess, The Walking Dead. Because obviously Telltale has been developing games for a long time, but but what Sean Venom and Jake Rodkin did with The Walking Dead Season 1 sort of laid the framework for what modern Telltale is in terms of this new revered developer.
Yeah, and it's hard, right? Because this is so fresh in our mind that I sort of don't want to be dismissive of The Walking Dead, which was so good.
Yeah.
And really has stuck with me for years, but doesn't mean as much to me now as Borderlands or even Wolf, which I just had more recently in my life. But I think the Borderlands is up there, if not surpassing The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of feel that way too. It's the funniest thing Telltale's done
by far.
Since old Telltale stuff. And I think the thing that impressed me the most is like, because I went into Wolf and Walking Dead, I'd read those comics, and so like I knew and I enjoyed those universes, whereas I went into this like not really, like, I respect Borderlands, so I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I'm like, oh man, you made me really care about something that I didn't think I was going to care about, and so I feel like that balance of like genuine drama and interesting characters and humor, I think this might be right up there with both of them with season 1 of Walking Dead and with Wolf Among Us, which is really impressive.
I feel like the character development in both the seasons of Walking Dead so far mean a lot more to me than what this has, but I definitely rank Tales of the Borderlands more than The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
I think just by the nature of it being a comedy, it's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like with The Walking Dead, you were getting a very different
I enjoy the pain
experience.
I suffered through The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go for different things, but
Walking Dead's one of those things where I played it once and
I'm done forever.
Never going to play it again.
Yeah. No.
This is a fun
I
con
see,
heist story I can go back and play again.
Yeah, or if I want to sit down with someone who hasn't played, I'd be like, man, I would totally sit down with you.
That's so interesting. So my boyfriend was watching me finish this finale. He's like, I'd love to see you actually play through this whole thing because the music's really good.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was impeccable in
Really
this
great.
episode.
Jared killed it.
Yeah. And so I'd just like to see it from the beginning, even though he cares about Borderlands, but not like
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
Whereas he asked me if I wanted to play The Walking Dead over for him too, and I was like,
No,
I mean, I've
You're on your own
invested. I
for that
love
one,
The Walking
buddy.
Dead. It's up there in my top, but like I
Yeah.
won't really go back there and play it all.
Yeah.
Compared to this,
I've only played Game of Thrones episode 1.
I haven't played Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I am eagerly awaiting the finale.
Okay, so you've played all 5?
Yep.
We're like...
I think it's really safe. I think that Thrones is probably the weakest thing Telltale's currently doing.
Wow.
I like a lot about it. I think it's safe in that it relies a little bit on what you already know about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And it uses those kind of, they're not archetypes, but it's like characters you know. They rely on like replicating that as a crutch a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do like the Forresters as a family. I do like the stuff that happens in most of the episodes. Yeah. Again, episode whatever, the second to last episode was like really weak. I didn't like it.
Yeah. And we just got a release. I think the game's coming out in like
November.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Telltale really should consider going to a 4-episode route. This continues to be a thing.
Yeah.
The finales would be bad.
The finale should just be previously on and just have clips of like the thing you didn't have to play.
And then roll credits.
Yeah, and then roll credits. Yeah, I sort of agree with that with Game of Thrones. Again, speaking only of episode 1, like a lot of those moments were only impactful because of the relationship I had with the show.
Yes.
Like the scene that's at the Red Wedding, like when the Rains of Castamere start playing, I'm like, oh, this is awesome because of the show. Not because you earned it through the scene.
Oh, so that's interesting. So Tales and Walking Dead, both in the same
Amazing
universe, but
standalone.
different characters.
Yeah,
whereas
absolutely.
Wolf Among Us and and Game of Thrones depends on those characters.
Yes.
And I think Borderlands does a much better job of. It does have those fan service moments, and it does connect to pre-sequel and Borderlands 2 in a meaningful way, but it doesn't require you to have played them or be obsessed with them to know that like this is what happens when. It's just I don't know. It's interesting to see successes and failures of different degrees in different series from Telltale.
Also, I literally just thought of this. Didn't Athena get captured by Valerie
She did get captured, and then it leads into a pre-sequel. But I guess in the meantime, from when pre-sequel ended and Athena was released with the Vault Hunters, that's where we reached.
So I think
that actually makes good better time frame.
The Tales timeline, the present day timeline, is the farthest in the future.
No,
I think
the last scene of the pre-sequel is the farthest in the future.
But is Valerie there?
No, she's dead.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is like the pre-sequel intro takes place before the modern day Tales stuff.
Yes.
And the outro is after that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The end of pre-sequel is real dumb when those aliens come out.
It's really terrible.
I'm like, is the last game going to be about aliens?
Oh, God, yeah. And they just show up. They're like, hello.
Like,
we are the aliens.
It's just like, okay. Good job, aliens. I hope, I don't know. Part of me really wants a season 2 or a series 2 of this.
Yeah.
Part of me is totally fine with this being its own story.
What if they never did it, but they did a Cowboy Bebop game instead?
Oh, Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. Damn, I'm hungry for lunch. Let's go get some lunch.
Dude, I would love a Cowboy Bebop game. Telltale's doing real good. I'm proud of you guys. Thanks, Telltales. We did it.
Keep up the great work.
Yeah, keep it locked.
Make some more Viggies.
Yeah, you make a real cool Marvel
None of you are
Vigi.
making any more sense anymore.
You make a real cool Marvel Vigi.
Like Baymax.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared's going to be Baymax for Halloween.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's so awesome.
I love that. Okay. Thank you for watching. That was go see Marty's review. Read it, watch it, do all those things. Do it at the same time. It's like he's narrating the thing that you're reading. His episode 5 reviews live on IGN as well as the full season. Every other episode is on
play
IGN.
these games. Episode 1's free. If you haven't played it, you watch this video, you're a weird boy or girl.
Yeah, if you didn't play episode 5 and you watched this video, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts. I mean, we're going to be in the comments of this video checking it out and talking to you guys about the episode. So do that, and then for all things Borderlands, stay tuned to IGN.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, robots.